at what age did you identify that you don't belong to that specific gender? See, this is one of the point which I have mentioned, that people are not, or the children are like, they are not comfortable talking with their parents, even like that I am feeling different in the body. What time you felt like, hey, this is the time to discuss with parent or to inform him?
I think I was 14, and I had planned everything out. I was like, today's the day. I'm going to go downstairs and talk to my parents about all of this and see how they take it.
Do you want to share the hardest moment of your life? Hello everyone, welcome back X to 10X, and I am your host Yasser Rizvi.
And I'm Madison Huerta.
Thank you very much, Madison. Today, we will be discussing about my upcoming book, which is As I Am, the unfiltered stories and the real lives of transgenders. We have done through more than 49 chapters right now. But those chapters are basically a research work, it's a historical work, or it's an interpretation of someone's voice. But today, we will hear the story about from the transgender itself. And in the studio with X to 10X, I have Madison with me. Madison, how are you feeling today?
Feeling a little nervous for doing a podcast. It's my first time, but I'm hoping to learn a lot about myself and just talk about my life of being a transgender and hopefully give some nice information.
Yes, definitely. Can you like introduce yourself to the audience and tell about yourself first?
Yeah, so I'm Madison Huerta. My pronouns are she, her. I've been transgender since I was 11. I started changing how I dress, how people refer to me as, like about a year after when I was 12. I've just been living this way since. Ap- Apart from being transgender, I like to go biking. I love birds, going out in nature. Sometimes I write, and I like to read a lot.
So here I want to specify one thing here is being a transgender is also a normal thing. It's a human being, right? They
Yes.
also feel, they also love birds, they also love hiking and doing adventure. It's not something they're from the different part of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Like because usually people have that perception, okay, like they usually avoid talking also. Have you felt this?
Yeah. I try not to talk very much because I feel like my voice isn't what people expect whenever they see my face.
Hmm.
And I'm just like a quiet person in general. But in behind what I look like or who I am, I'm just a normal person who likes doing regular hobbies. Like some people like working on their cars. I just so happen to like nature and all that.
First question, usually which comes in our mind is like, at what age did you identify that you don't belong to that specific gender?
I think I was in seventh grade, probably, I don't know, 11 or 10. Um, I started feeling weird about my body. That's when I was going through puberty and I started growing leg hair, a little mustache too. And I saw all the other boys who were proud of it. They would show it off, and everybody would be like excited for these new changes. But I tried everything in my power to hide my leg hair, my arm hair, and my facial hair. I'd started shaving around then. Um, and so I started thinking that maybe not, I'm not mm, like other boys. And so I tried to look for a word of what I am. And that's when I talked to one of my friends who told me what a transgender is. And I just went from there.
Okay, you choose to discuss this with your friend, not your parents. Why?
I know my parents were Catholic at the time, and uh, lots of Catholics, they don't like to accept trans people or gay people, any queer person. They treat them with a lot of hate because they think it's a sin to be that way. So I wanted to talk to one of my friends who was already, I think they were gay. And so I knew they knew a little bit about this. That's why I went to them specifically, and they helped me find who I am. And I did it because I knew they weren't gonna tell anyone that I was thinking like this, or they weren't going to yell at me or say I'm wrong. Um, so I knew they were safe to talk to.
See, this is one of the point which I have mentioned, that people are not, or the children are like, they are not comfortable talking with their parents, even like that I am feeling different in the body, because you identified or you experienced it around 10 or 11 years of
Around
old,
that.
right?
Yeah.
What about if someone is like around 6 years old, 7 years old? Okay, I have read in a research work that even a kid in 3 years old also can feel different in their body. So that's the reason you choose your friend to be in a safe zone to discuss than your parents. At what age or at what time you felt like, hey, this is the time to discuss with parent or to inform him?
I think I was 14, and I had planned everything out. I was like, today's the day. I'm going to go downstairs and talk to my parents about all of this and see how they take it. So around then, I went downstairs and I said, hey, like I've been having these feelings. I don't think I want to be a boy. I want to start changing, dressing like a girl, being called a girl, changing my name too. And that was when I found out that they didn't like that. And I saw it on their face that they were really disappointed in me. And so I just like went upstairs and then
Oh my God.
kind of like hid it away from them for a few more years. Yeah.
Or you thought that you should have hidden few more years rather than telling them now. They
Yeah.
never felt it, like they never like,
They never knew, no.
no, I mean like they never
Mhm.
how to say that they never noticed like there is something difference.
I think they thought I was just quiet, but I think I was quiet because I didn't know how to act around other boys or girls because when I was younger I was taught that you're supposed to like treat women differently, like with
Hmm.
more
Hmm.
respect,
Hmm.
and with boys you I don't know, you mess around like horseplay, all that. But since I was thinking about being a girl, that that throws everything around. I don't know how to act with the girls, or I don't know how to act around boys. Um, but no, they never noticed. I don't think. I think there was a surprise for them whenever I came out. Yeah.
And like in your school, you were like in seventh grade somewhere, right?
Yeah, around
How
there.
was your experience in school?
Well, my experience was pretty good. I liked middle school. I had my friend who I talked to about being transgender, and they had more friends that were like me. And so together we just got through school. And it wasn't until high school when my life started changing because that's when I started dressing differently and using my new name. Um, but high school, it was rough because there was half and half. One half liked they treated transgender people normally, how I wanted to be treated. But the other half, they hated me. They despised me. They didn't want to be around me, and they would bully me sometimes. Um, and so I had to get through that for around 4 years. It was certainly a rough experience.
My God.
Yeah.
Do you want to share the hardest moment of your life?
I think just hearing my parents' voice after I came out to them. Uh, my dad, he was started to cry a little bit because I think he was scared of what I would end up being if I decided to go through with being transgender. Um, and my mom, her voice was a little bit shaky and stuff. I knew they were worried about me, and it was hard because I didn't know if my parents would love me the same way. I know they love me as a boy, but I don't know if they would love me as a girl. And it was really hard because your parents are really important people. I mean, they gave
For
birth to
sure.
you, they raised you, and now to kind of have their love ripped away from you, it's really rough.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, two siblings, my sister Clarissa and my brother Carlos.
Okay, so how they treat you, or when they came to know, are they elder to you or younger?
They're older. Clarissa's 4 years older, and my brother is 8 years older.
Okay, so both are older than you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when they came to know, did like they came to know after your parents or before your parents?
Before, I told everybody except my parents.
Yeah, you
They were
choose
the
to tell
last
them in
one.
the end. Okay, so what was the first expression of Clarissa
Mm-hmm.
when she came to know? She came to know.
Funnily enough, she was like, "No way, you're not like that. You just have to like think about it for a bit. Like maybe you're just going through a phase." And I was like, "No, I really feel like this." And she was like, "Okay. I mean, when are you gonna tell mom and dad?" I was like, "I don't know, maybe in like a month or so." And so I think she was mm, she was supportive, but she was in disbelief at first. And my brother, he's gay. um, I told him about it, and he was like, "Oh, really? That's cool." So he was
Wow.
completely on board with it. He loved that part of me.
Hmm.
And my sister, she was really supportive too.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. And
Hmm.
thank you. I would like to personally thanks to Clarissa
Hmm.
to make this happen for today. Yeah, she
Yes.
really helped me in that way.
Hmm.
Okay, so now that there are layers, okay, you choose your friend to discuss, then your siblings, then your parents. Then what about the relatives, like your far relatives and your cousins and all?
Yeah, I don't think I ever told any of my other relatives, my cousins or my aunts and uncles, my grandma and my grandpas. I never told them, but they see me sometimes whenever I go to like parties, birthday parties. They see how I dress, how I talk, and I think they know I'm different, but they don't, I never told them personally. And so I guess we just all decide to ignore it. We never talk about it. So I feel uncomfortable sometimes whenever I go to birthday parties with my family because I don't know how they feel about me. And I think it's just too late to tell them what I am and who I want to be.
So do they make you uncomfortable by saying something or any gesture or in response?
Mm, no, most of them don't. I have an uncle who, when I was younger, before I even uh, thought about being trans, he would tell me, "Oh, your hair's so long, it's like a girl."
Mm.
And after I came out, he stopped saying those things because I think he figured out that I was trans
Mm.
and should stop making fun of me for it. But they don't say anything bad. It's just I feel uncomfortable because I feel like I have to be a different person around them, that I
Mm.
can't be myself, and that I have to act like who I used to be, like a boy, basically.
So this is a very important point. Like, don't make them feel like you're one of the different personality or different person. Like
Yeah.
you're like a normal person, like one of them person.
Hmm.
Definitely. When you were young, okay, or still now, like what do you wish you would have heard from someone when you tell them like you are trans?
I wish I heard from my parents specifically, or just my family members,
Hmm.
that it's okay to be a little different. My mom and my dad always taught me that boys and girls had to act a certain way. And if they had just told me that it's okay to be who you are, to like things that you like, I think I would have been different, way, way different from who I am now. I'd be less scared to act how I want to act or just be who I am. I have trouble, like in public, uh, talking to people because I'm scared of they thinking that I'm weird, but I just want to show who I am to them.
So we have discussed your siblings, your home, your relatives, your school. What about your work space?
My work, it's a little weird because over there they call me by my dead name. My dead name is what I was born with. It's Oscar. Um, and they do that because it's what I have on my ID. Um, so I have my hard hat and it says Oscar Huerta on there, and they call me Oscar Huerta. But what's weird about it is that they still call me a girl because um, I don't know why, actually. I think they just, you know, see me and they hear me talk or how I act, and they decide that I was born a girl, even though I have like a boy name. So I don't know if any of them know that I'm trans. I know I never told any of them, but they treat me like a normal person, which is all I could ask for.
That's very good, actually, that they
Yeah.
treat you as a normal person. What do you personally feel like to be called?
Uh, well, my title, I feel a little on the fence. On one hand, I want to be called a woman, but on the other hand, I want to be called a trans woman because that's really who I am. It's part of my identity, and I'm proud of being a trans woman. And but on the other hand, the part of me who just wants to be called a woman
Mm.
uh, wants to be treated like one. I feel like when you say trans woman, you think of you think of them differently as opposed to just normal old woman. But I just want to be called like a person instead. I think that's the number one right there.
That's a very good point what you have mentioned, like just to be called a person as a human being.
Yeah.
Madison, what is the biggest misconception people have about transgender?
I think they think that we have bad intentions all the time. There's a lot of people I see online who think we're out to get their children or to make them transgender too. There's people who don't want us in sports, or they don't want us to use the bathrooms that we want to use because they think that we're trying to do it for a bad reason, to take advantage of people. And that's not at all how it's like. We just want to use a bathroom that makes us feel comfortable or play a sport that we like doing. I really like playing badminton, but I can't do it professionally because I think right now it's illegal for me to do it. Um, I'm not trying to take advantage of women for my genetics, my male genetics. People say I'm stronger, but no, it's not true. Um, yeah.
So recently there is a law passed by Olympics. Okay, I have specified that law in the book. You can read it. In which they will identify based on the hormonal
Yes.
testosterone's level, actually. So in that way, the you will be, or the transgender man or women will be into the category of man or woman.
Yeah.
That's how usually it works. Yeah.
Hmm.
You want to share any bad experience in the market or in the social circle you have faced?
Um, well, I meet a lot of people who don't want me on the planet, the same planet as they're on. Um, online, I face a lot of people who want to scare me, or
Scare
uh,
you of like what?
they they type my address out onto like I don't know, social media. They tell me, oh, I'm going to go to your house and all that because of who I am. They don't like that I'm transgender. And so they want to scare me so that I could go back into being a boy. But in real life, I face people like that too, where they try to poke fun at you for who you are. I had this one friend who really didn't like me, and I was really scared because he knew where I lived, and I knew he lived not too far away from me. If he wanted to, he could do something about me. He could hurt me or whatever. So it's a little scary sometimes meeting new people because you never know what they're going to be like. If they're going to be accepting of you or if they want to hurt you.
That's sad, actually. Yeah?
It's really
That's
sad,
really
yeah.
sad. It's very, really, very bad. My God. You mentioned before starting of this interview that you go for biking, you go for hiking. Okay, so what actually gives you happiness?
Well, every day I wake up and I open my bird cage because my birds are what make me really happy. I love just like feeling them on my finger, like feeding them.
Which bird you have?
I have two budgies.
Oh,
They're
nice.
tiny little
Yeah, yeah.
parakeets. Uh, One's named Ash and the other is Buffoni.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have a girlfriend. She's the love of my life, and I can't imagine a world without her. She brings so much joy to me. And doing my hobbies, writing, reading, biking, and I also like rock climbing too. Um, those really get me through the day. I like construction. I like building things with my hands or reading out the plans. I think it's really cool to put in so much hard work into a project and then seeing it finish once it's done. Um, but yeah.
Okay, great. One last thing you wanted to share with your audience, with people who are not aware of transgenders or anything, any message to them?
Yeah. Go into it with a really open mind. Um, if you start to live in fear of the people who are like going to hurt you, or maybe you're scared that your parents won't accept you, um, try to set that aside and instead try to be who you want to be. Um, it's really easy to live in like a bad state like Texas, where there's a lot of laws that try to hurt being people being transgender. But if you hide yourself, if you decide to just stay in your house and not go out, or just to hide who you are, you're letting them win. Um, I want you to put yourself out there and show people who you are, because then that's when real people can start to see that transgender people are normal humans, just like everyone else. And hopefully, then they'll see that maybe we should get rid of these horrible, horrible laws that are hurting trans people.
You have heard Madison, she spoke for a long time, not because she was performing for a microphone or she was performing on the stage, because she had a lot of things to share for a very long time, which no one was ready to ask, no one were ready to listen to her. I have nothing to add on this. She had spoke a lot and she have already said a lot of things. Thank you very much. Stay blessed.